welcome. We're back with another lesson in A Course in Miracles. My name's Janet Melody and today's lesson 170, so I hope you're ready with your books, or if not, remember, links under the video so that you can read the text whenever you're ready. You can read it along with me or you can read it in your own time. The choice is entirely yours. So let's get started with our lesson of the day. There is no cruelty in God and none in me. That's what we have to remember today. No cruelty in our God and none in you either. None. So no one attacks without intent to hurt. This can have no exception. When you think that you attack in self-defense, you mean that to be cruel is protection. You are safe because of cruelty. You mean that you believe to hurt another brings you freedom. And you mean that to attack is to exchange the state in which you are for something better, safer, more secure, from dangerous invasion and from fear. How thoroughly insane is the idea that to defend from fear is to attack. For here is fear begot and fed with blood to make it grow and swell and rage. And thus is fear protected, not escaped. Today we learn a lesson which can save you more delay and needless misery than you can possibly imagine. And it is this: you make what you defend against, and by your own defense against it, is it real and inescapable. Lay down your arms, and only then do you perceive it false. Yeah, we've been living like this for so long that we believe that to attack another is to save ourselves. That to be cruel to another, really, because ultimately when you're attacking somebody, it's cruel. That's what you're doing. And we do it not only to others, we do it to ourselves if we're not doing what we think we should be. So it's a really vicious cycle that we have got ourselves into. And we need to start letting go of that, realizing that, this attack theory that the mind seems to have created is not the answer. It's just perpetuating fear, it's keeping that cycle going, and we are wanting to get over to the world of love, not in the world of fear, because fear cannot exist when love comes in. Love is the antidote to fear, and that is the aim of this course, to bring about the essence of who we are, and what are we? We are love. So it seems to be the enemy without that you attack. Yet your defense sets up an enemy within. An alien thought at war with you, depriving you of peace, splitting your mind into two camps which seem wholly irreconcilable, for love now has an enemy, an opposite, and fear the alien now needs your defense against the threat of what you really are. If you consider carefully the means by which your fancied self-defense proceeds on its imagined way, you will perceive the premises on which the idea stands. First, it is obvious ideas must leave their source, for it is you who make attack and must have first conceived of it. Yet you attack outside yourself and separate your mind from him who is to be attacked. With perfect faith, the split you made is real. Yeah, just realize that as we are attacking outside of ourselves, it's actually an internal attack. So when you're attacking your brother, your sister, whoever it may be, there is some aspect of you that you're attacking at the exact same time. So you're attacking the truth, and that is that you are love. So stop it. Next are the attributes of love bestowed upon its enemy. For fear becomes your safety and protector of your peace, to which you turn for solace and escape from doubts about your strength and hope of rest in dreamless quiet. And as love is shorn of what belongs to it, and it alone, love is endowed with the attributes of fear. For love would ask you lay down all defences as merely foolish, and your arms indeed would crumble into dust, for such they are. With love as enemy, must cruelty become a god? And gods demand that those who worship them obey their dictates, and refuse to question them. Harsh punishment is meted out relentlessly to those who ask if the demands are sensible or even sane. It is their enemies who are unreasonable and insane, while they are always merciful and just. Yes, our thoughts have such power when we believe them, when we attach to them. Those fear thoughts can create havoc inside the mind, thus outside to others, and that is where the absolute craziness starts. It really does. It starts inside and then outside, and sometimes we don't want to look at our stuff and really see that, what I'm attacking in somebody else is actually going on inside my mind. It's not about that other person, it's inside of me. Until I change that, it's not going to change outside of me. So change the internal, drop your weapons, whatever you're using to attack, your words, your position on whatever it is, let it go. Let go of the attack and realize what you are. Realize that. We have to realize we are love. And we got to experience it, like it said yesterday. We've got to get to that place where we have an open mind, so open to love that grace can come in and we can experience it, because we can't learn what that is until we silence our minds. Our minds are the things that are just constantly going every day, and we haven't got to beat up on them. It's like we're trying to beat up the thoughts, but they're just like the clouds going by in the mind. We have to let them go, so that we can have a clear blue sky in the mind, and then the mind is open to see the sun shining in, and then you're going to experience that warmth, that love that belongs inside each and every one of us. It's inside of us all. We don't have to look anywhere for it, because it's there. It's just getting still in the mind, so still, so quiet, so that it can open up and blossom. It can open up and blossom. So with love as enemy, must cruelty become a god? And gods demand that those who worship them obey their dictates and refuse to question them. Harsh punishment is meted out relentlessly to those who ask if the demands are sensible or even sane. It is their enemies who are unreasonable and insane, while they are always merciful and just. So I've just read that paragraph again, I realise, but that is kind of what we've just gone over. So sometimes it's meant to be, I think, making mistakes. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I read the same paragraph again. So what? So it's a good lesson that, with love as enemy, must cruelty become a god. Love is not the enemy here. Love is not the enemy. Today we look upon this cruel God dispassionately, and we note that though his lips are smeared with blood and fire seems to flame from him, he is but made of stone. He can do nothing. We need not defy his power. He has none. And those who see in him their safety have no guardian, no strength to call upon in danger, and no mighty warrior to fight for them. This moment can be terrible, but it can also be the time of your release from abject slavery. You make a choice standing before this idol, seeing him exactly as he is. Will you restore to love what you have sought to wrest from it, and lay before this mindless piece of stone? Or will you make another idol to replace it? For the God of cruelty takes many forms. Another can be found. Yeah, it does. The mind is it's a cunning thing, isn't it? It can come about you in different ways, and you've got to keep your wits about you to. It's not even keeping your wits about you, really. It's just the feeling. I always think when you go into a low vibing feeling, then you've gone into fear in some form or another. You've gone into fear. So the key is always to keep on those happy vibes, and not to walk around smiling, because if you don't feel happy, you can't force. It's not about forcing yourself to be happy. It's listening to those thoughts that are going on and questioning them, because there are thoughts that have created you to feel that way. You're not just feeling that way for nothing. There is a mind that is thinking thoughts that are negative, and they are snowballing. They're just getting out of control, and the snowball's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, until in the end you really do hit some pretty low times in your life because of thinking. It's all about the thinking mind, the thoughts. Let go of those thoughts. Stand back from them. You know, because we get so used to living every day with this thinking mind and listening to it. Oh, I want you to go here, and I've got to go and do this, and oh, this must be there. Time. That's fear thinking. Time, I've got to get up, I've got to get going, you know. Just because we're not feeling, it's that urgency, the need to. And it's so hard because we keep thinking, if we let go of this, then what am I going to become? I'll just become lazy, I won't do anything, I'll end up, you know, even worse. But then you can go into that side of things. That's another side of beating yourself up. I'm lazy, I'm this, if I don't do this. The energy of love is something we have to all get to experience in a way that we just feel at peace and at one with our world. And we become active in it because our purpose is to just extend that. It's not to just sit around and do nothing, you know. It is to do it in a light-hearted way, and it's like things just will flow, but we've never given ourselves time to do it, because when we do stop, the other mind still comes in and it beats us up about that. So we're going to constantly be in this place of fear if we don't stop listening to the mind and its thinking. It is always going to be berating. We've got to let go of it with love. Say, thank you, I can see you're trying to survive, you're trying to create another reality than what you actually are, but you're love. So just calm, be at peace, and let it go. Where does the totally insane belief in gods of vengeance come from? Love has not confused its attributes with those of fear. Yet must the worshippers of fear perceive their own confusion in fear's enemy, its cruelty as now a part of love. And what becomes more fearful than the heart of love itself? The blood appears to be upon his lips, the fire comes from him, and he is terrible above all else, cruel beyond conception, striking down all who acknowledge him to be their God. The choice you make today is certain, for you look for the last time upon this bit of carven stone you made, and call it God no longer. You have reached this place before, but you have chosen that this cruel God remain with you in still another form. And so the fear of God returned with you. This time you leave it there, and you return to a new world, unburdened by its weight, beheld not in its sightless eyes, but in the vision that your choice restored to you. Now do your eyes belong to Christ, and he looks through them. Now your voice belongs to God and echoes his, and now your heart remains at peace forever. You have chosen him in place of idols, and your attributes given by your Creator are restored to you at last. The call for God is heard and answered. Now has fear made way for love, as God himself replaces cruelty, which is what we want. We want God to replace cruelty, because God we want to see as love, and he just wants us to be what we are. And here is the poem, the last segment of this lesson. Father, we are like you. No cruelty abides in us, for there is none in you. Your peace is ours, and we bless the world with what we have received from you alone. We choose again and make our choice for all our brothers, knowing they are one with us. We bring them your salvation as we have received it now, and we give thanks for them who render us complete. In them we see your glory, and in them we find our peace. Holy are we because your holiness has set us free, and we give thanks. Amen. So let go of any cruel thoughts, any cruel actions, any cruel whatever it may be, in the tiniest of forms, in the, in whatever form it's going to try and deviate to do, because it wants to keep that fear going. So our role today is just to be aware, I guess, to be aware and to see God as love, and that he's just bestowing that love upon us, and that we are it. And when we realize that the lesson of the day is there is no cruelty in God and none in me. So there's no cruelty in God, so there's none in you, because that is the source in which you came. And that is what you have to realize today. So you could spend 5 to 30 minutes, say, with this poem at the end of the lesson, and use that as a way to bring you into that wonderful whole space of oneness. And then again, do it on the evening as you close your day, bring yourself back, this wonderful presence of oneness. And as you become that one aspect, as it always says, allow that then to lead your day. So remember, on the hour, every hour, just the lesson itself for 1 to 2 minutes. And then when you can step into that energy of who you really are, then allow it to guide your day. The more you can do that, the more you can get rid of those thoughts that think, oh, if I just let go of everything, things aren't going to work out. Well, just try it in small little doses throughout the day. Try it for 5-10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to let love lead the way for this 5 minutes. What am I going to do? What does it want me to express? What does it want me to extend? So try that today and see how you go. The more you do these little increments towards love, and they start showing you the miracles that can be a part of your life, the bigger the miracles are going to become, and the happier, the more peaceful, the more loving you are going to become, and others will feel that from you as well, because you are such a beautiful soul who is here to live a beautiful life. We all are, so just step into that truth of who you are. And we'll be back tomorrow for our review. We're on to the review next, so take care, and hopefully I will see you all then. Bye for now.